Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over editing photos. I know here I was talking about editing on a different app, but I wanted to go over VSCO since it's kind of big right now. And I wanted to get rid of that stigma that only VSCO girls use this app. It's actually really good to edit simple photos for like Instagram, or if you ever want to upload to VSCO you can too. And I'll just be going over some of the basic things that you can do with the app even without the pro version, because I don't have the pro version either. So I already imported a photo, which is this one, and I wanted to just mess around with it. So once you log in, or once you open your photo, you'll be greeted with all these presets. Now you can start off with a preset. It's up to you. I prefer not to have a preset, but some of them look really nice. So it's just up to you. We're just going to start off with the original photo, and then we're going to go over here, and then the exposure is basically how dark or bright it is. I think the photo is fine as it is, so we're gonna go on to contrast, which is basically how much of a contrast you want between the darks and the blacks and the whites of your photo. So if you do that, there's like zero contrast. You do that, there's too much contrast, right? So you have to find a little. Basically, a little goes a long way. We're gonna go at least 1.3. Adjusting, well, that's how you crop your photo and stuff like that. Sharpening, I don't really think it's already sharpened enough. Saturation's fine, so we don't have to worry about that. Saturation, just how much color you want. Basically how much color do you want in the photo? It's like how green are the greens and how orange are the oranges and stuff like that. So the highlights, this gets rid of highlights. I don't know why it says plus 12 when it should be like minus 12. But anyways, the shadows the same way. It's plus 12, but that's how much you get rid of. I do like shadow detail a lot in my photos, so I will keep that. And then we're going to go for the white balance. The white balance is really important because that's how cool you can make your photos. So if you wanted to go for a cool theme like this, and then like maybe raise the tint a bit, and it'll look a little bit pinkish, or you can go green. But I don't really like messing with the tint much, more of just the temperature. So for this photo, since we're on VSCO, most of the photos on VSCO use a warmer tone. So we're going to try to go for that today. So we're just going to go up like 1.3, somewhere around there. A little goes a long way, like I said before. So there's no person in the photo, so skin tone doesn't matter. Vignette is always nice. I like to use a little bit. It just adds a dark circle like around the four corners to give that like aesthetic look. And then grain is the big one. Every picture that you see on VSCO is probably gonna have some sort of grain to make it look vintage, right? And that's the sort of look we're gonna go for, considering this is VSCO. And now the 12 for this photo specifically doesn't add a lot of grain, as you can see. You have to zoom in to tell, but it adds just enough for it to look nice. So we're gonna go with that. And then fade, only put a little bit of fade. You don't want it to be too faded and look like that. So we're just going to go for a little bit to make it look retro and vintage. And then split toning. So what color do you want the shadows to be? So for example, if you're weird, you can make your shadows red. Why you'd want that, I don't know. Okay, but I feel like if we did like a orangey tone, or like a, not orange is fine, yes. So this is original, and we're going to go for like a more of an orange tone right here. And then highlights, which is how bright the image is, which is basically the sky in this picture. I think, okay, this is original. I think we did a little bit of this color. Actually of yellow. Let's see. This is how it is. You can go like that. And there you go. So now the borders in HSL aren't here, but let's go on to this one. So this is just to create a recipe. Okay. And then this is just to organize your recipes, your tools, and your presets. But basically this is the whole edit. Pretty simple. Like I said, VSCO is made for fast and simple edits. So we're just going to go run over what everything does again. Contrast, how dark do you want the dark blacks to be from the whites. how bright do you want the whites to be from the blacks. Adjusting is normal. Exposure, sorry, forgot about that one. Exposure is just how bright or how much light you want to let into the photo. For example, if you want to add a lot, you go like that and it becomes super bright. But we don't want that. So it's just like messing around. The key tip for editing photos for mobile, since it's not like for crazy, it's just for yourself, is to be very like creative and experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment on new things. Not everyone's gonna like your type of editing for photos, but the main vibe or like aesthetic that VSCO goes for is that grain orange tinted photos. That's what you really want from VSCO if you're trying to post there. Those are the ones that get the most popular. And basically you want the grain, the white balance to be around this area to give it that warm summer vibe pretty much. A lot of grain depending on the photo you have. If it's of a person, you don't want to add like 12 like me. You probably do it around the middle. Like I said, fiddle around with it. Find that the perfect spot. Start messing around. Don't be afraid to be like, oh, I wonder what this looks like. And they're like, no, it'll look ugly. Well, you don't know until you try. Everyone has their own personal preference. So editing is always very opinionative. You can see if you like how this photo looks. And if other people don't like how this photo looks, well, it's all about what you think. What are you trying to go for? And if other people don't like it, and they start to influence your opinion, then maybe you should learn a different editing technique. Like, what type of photo do you want to go for? For example, this one's a warm tone, but we could also do a cold tone for this picture and give it a whole different aesthetic just by changing the white balance and get rid of the grain, take out the fade, and give a more contrasty cold tone look. So it's all very opinionative. Mess around with it, have fun. Editing's supposed to be very fun. Don't let other people tell you this sucks. If you like the photo, then you like the photo. It's all about what you want. But anyways, this was just a simple editing tutorial for VSCO. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, it would mean a lot to me if you could like the video. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe. And anyways, that's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.